You saw the title, so you know what's about to go down. Let me say this up front, forward. When I got into professional wrestling as a kid, back in late 1984, the man that attracted me to it was a guy by the name of Hulk Hogan. I have been a lifelong wrestling fan since I was in 5th grade, which would have put me at about 11, maybe 12 years old. I've watched it ever since, from late 1984. And it's been, this December, if I'm still around, will be 31 years. I've been watching this industry. Now, when Hulk Hogan first came out with those rants, when people were, they were already defenders saying, oh, he don't have a racist bone in his body. Oh, he's not like that. Which, by the way, Kamala kissed my ass. Dennis Rodman, well, we know you a damn freak. So, fuck him too. But, and even the comments on radio, if it would have been just those comments he made on radio, I might have been like inappropriate, but maybe dismissive. But what made me turn on him was two things. First, the comments about her daughter's boyfriend. I think it was around 2012. Talk about, she's making a mistake and some black billionaire wanted to help fund Brooke's career. Although it's kind of funny that, and we know Hulk Hogan, and this is without the race thing, we know Hulk Hogan is a notorious liar. It's funny he doesn't name who the black billionaire was. And not to mention Brooke's music career sucked anyway. But then he goes on to talk about he would rather her be with some 8 foot tall nigger who played basketball. First of all, if you 8 foot tall, you way damn too tall to play basketball. You'd be stumbling all over the place. First off. Second of all, it's kind of Hulk Hogan's karma. And plus, am I the only one that thought his relationship with Brooke was kind of creepy anyway? Yes, I'm starting to get into the rant part. Am I the only one that thought that his relationship with Brooke was sort of creepy anyway? Any man, especially when it was a non-white man, try to holler at Brooke, he always got real defensive. He acted more like her boyfriend than her daddy. And he really turned me off with the whole putting the lotion on Brooke and stuff. The way he did it was, ooh. And now both his ex-wife, I understand, Linda, and the daughter are both messing with black dudes. Sounds like penis envy to me. And I ain't talking about the physical sex organ either. I'm talking about mentally. It just feels like penis envy. But when I read these comments that he had made on The Rock, who granted, The Rock, I've always been a big fan of the wrestler The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, I'm a little iffy on. I'm a little iffy on the person. But the wrestler, I've always been a huge fan of The Rock. But when I read those comments, I was like, this is not only racist, this is some jealousy going on. Of course, anyone that knows, that's heard the history of Hulk Hogan, he is jealous of anyone that might be as big or bigger than he is. He's always got to be on top over anybody. Hashtag example, let's see, Shawn Michaels. He insisted on Shawn Michaels being the bad guy, even though both were big fan favorites in 2005. He insisted on Shawn Michaels being the bad guy for no reason. And those segments leading up to that match, yeah, Hogan won the match, which was bullshit. The wrong man won there. But in those segments leading up to it where he insisted, Shawn Michaels, I want him to be the bad guy. Shawn Michaels ripped Hulk Hogan verbally a new asshole. And now I take even more pleasure in watching those segments now. Randy Orton the following year, he damn sure, and I'm not the biggest fan of Randy Orton, but he damn sure had no business winning that SummerSlam 2006 match. Randy Orton was the bigger star. He should have been put over. I'm amazed he put damn Kurt Angle over, honestly, back in 2002, or Brock Lesnar back in 2002. I'm amazed he put them over. But to talk about The Rock, talking about he's no talent, he's a nigger, he's a Sambo, man, fuck you, Hulk Hogan. Dwayne Johnson in wrestling, while he's not the big name in professional wrestling, he's at least, as far as big names in the whole history of pro wrestling since it became sports entertainment, Hulk Hogan is still number one. Let me say that right now. And I don't agree with WWE totally erasing him. Let me say that right now. I'll say more for that for the video that will follow this when I ran on WWE. But The Rock and Austin is arguably number 2 or 3, depending on your preference. They're definitely right there under Hulk Hogan. Now, as far as mainstream, The Rock has kicked your ass, Hulk Hogan. He is easily the most successful wrestler to ever transition into Hollywood. More successful than Cena, who has tried it. More successful than Austin, who has tried it. And he's damn sure trumped Hulk Hogan. I think a lot of those comments were more out of a place, not only of racism, but out of a place of jealousy. Talk about he has no talent. He was more talented than you with your big boot and leg drop, motherfucker. You hadn't done moves beyond that since your Japan AWA days. And that was a long, long time ago. Hulk Hogan, he is ate up with jealousy over anyone that's even near his level. I mean, look at some of the comments, and granted, this guy made some questionable comments about black people himself, but look at his comments about the Ultimate Warrior prior to his death, in years prior to his death. Look at his comments about him. Talk about, oh, he was a short-term, flash in the pan champion. Yet more fans were in the years even before he was put into the Hall of Fame and passed away, were more favorable of Ultimate Warrior than you, Hulk Hogan. And let's look at it like this. Dwayne Johnson, as far as mainstream media, The Rock, he has been way more successful than you ever were. The most success you ever had in the mainstream was Rocky 3, your crossover appeal with the A-Team, which appearing with Mr. T in one episode, and then having Mr. T team up with you in at the first WrestleMania. And that Hogan Knows Best, which was really the beginning of the end of your whole career. So that WrestleMania 32 match that you've been talking about and bugging people to death about, that probably ain't gonna happen now. Your career pretty much is all but done. You little racist son of a bitch. Now, like I said, and I'm the same way about Chris Benoit. I don't feel Hulk Hogan should be totally erased. He's done way too much. And he's had way too much history, not only in WWE, but in professional wrestling in general, to be erased. But on Terry Bollea, the person, fuck you, suck my balls, kiss my ass, suck my asshole till your lips are shitty as hell. You big mustache, half crippled, steroided freak, son of a bitch. Dwayne Johnson, regardless of how I feel about the person as a wrestler and as an entertainer as a whole, is 5 times more successful than you ever were, and it eats your ass alive. You can call him half-breed, nigger, Sambo, and all that all you want. But the fact is, he's more successful in the mainstream Hollywood. Something that you desire, something that you craved for years and years, but was never really able to obtain. But he did, and he did it. He has done it in spades, and he did it better than you ever did. It's eat you alive. That's why you made those comments. I don't care if it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's the fucking truth. And by the way, let me say on a side note, Hulk Hogan, along with WWE, even though I'll have a rant on them in another video, WWE, along with The Rock, pretty much resurrected your career when your career was on its ass after 2001 at Bash at the Beach in WCW. Before it defunct, or I should say 2000, at Bash the Beach, when no one saw your ass, your career was on its ass. As far as I'm concerned, The Rock helped resurrect your career at WrestleMania 18 when you worked with that no talent Sambo nigger. He helped resurrect your career, and you go talk shit about him, and he went on to be just as big of a star as you in professional wrestling, and he went on to be even a bigger star in Hollywood. Something that I'll say again, you never obtained. Never! Except for your little success with Rocky 3, your little crossover success with Mr. T in the 80s, your little cartoon, Hulk Hogan Rockin' Wrestling, and your little reality show, Hogan Knows Best, which pretty much was the beginning of the end for you. So Hulk Hogan, kiss my motherfucking black ass. Fuck you, you son of a bitch. As a wrestling legend, yes, you should still you should still keep what you earned, because you've done too much for the history of professional wrestling. But as the person, Terry Bollea, go fucking fall off a cliff. I'm out. I'm Mr. Griffin.